How are you all doing? I hope you're all doing great, and I hope you're all staying safe. For the past week, a lot of you may have noticed we actually have a new microphone, and that is because we have been testing the FIFINE K678, and I have a few things to tell you about this microphone, and of course we are also going to compare it to my previous microphone, the Razer Siren X. So when FIFINE first contacted me asking me if I wanted to check out and review the K678, I was a little bit skeptical. The microphone I already had was pretty damn good, and it had our little signature sound. However, I wasn't 100% happy with it because background noise could be heard very easily. So I did a little bit of digging. I found out a lot of things about this microphone, and in the end, I ended up saying yes. A lot of people ask me what microphone I'm using and what the specs of my PC are, but certainly the most important thing for me when recording these videos is audio quality, because of course, when we record these videos, audio is mainly what I'm doing. There isn't much visualization happening here. So a good microphone is very important. And I'm happy to say that that is exactly what the FIFINE K678 is. This is a pretty nice upgrade from my previous microphone, the Razer Siren X. And as you will see during the comparison, it really is much clearer. But you may be asking yourself, what is the downside? How expensive is this thing? Because of course, price is the first thing we jump to when something is better. The Razer Siren X is about €100 depending on where you get it. This little thing, $64. Literally, that equates to about half the price of the Razer Siren X. Now, this is a USB microphone, so it does use a USB cable to connect to your computer, and it is different to the Razer Siren X in a few ways. It has a little bit more control if you ask me. But before we hop into the exact review of this thing, let's take a look at the box. Opening up the box, the microphone actually comes on a really nice stand, and this thing is so robust. It is the heaviest thing in the box. Like, you lift up the box and you're like, damn, this is heavy. Of course, as you can see, I'm not using that stand because I don't even have anywhere to stand it, but thankfully the microphone also comes with a little adapter to put it onto any standard microphone mount, because the mount on the microphone itself is actually not that standard. Thankfully, it comes with this adapter though, and as you can see, it fits my setup perfectly fine. Inside the box, of course, you also get your manual, etc. But the most important part for me is that adapter and the fact that it is packaged really well and the box feels premium. An unboxing experience is always like the first thing you see when you get a product, and a good unboxing experience is always a good first impression. Now let's move on to the physical differences between the Razer Siren X and the FIFINE K678. Grabbing my Razer Siren X here, as you can see, I have a pop filter and a little foam thing here on top of the microphone. A lot of people tell me I don't need that. However, I have it there just because my mouth makes a lot of clicking sounds. So actually, let me take off this foamy bit so that you guys can see it better. As you can see here, they are roughly the same size. However, the Razer Siren X is a little bit more flat at the top, and I mean, it just looks a little bit different. The K678 is way more rounded off, and there's a mute switch at the front, just like the Razer Siren X has, that also has a mute switch at the front, and the back is where things get interesting. Because the thing I missed most on my Razer Siren X was gain control, physical gain control. That is something the K678 has. As you can see here at the back, at the top we have gain control, and at the bottom we've got headphone volume control, because that is something they both support. Headphone pass-through. At the bottom of both of these microphones, you have a 3.5mm headphone jack, allowing you to listen to your voice as you are speaking. Now, what is interesting is through the Razer Siren X, I actually had quite a bit of delay when plugging in my headphones. I'm not 100% sure why this was, but on the K678, it's as if I just heard my own voice. So that is absolutely perfect. If you guys need that for whatever reason, it's there and it works really well. Now, let's move on to what we're both here for. And I did a lot of testing when it comes to audio quality. So on my Razer Siren X, we had that signature sound. It was very warm, it was very deep, kind of. And on the K678, I think it's fair to say I had to go through a whole different procedure to get our sound kind of back. It's much better than it was on this. It's much clearer, but let's move into that. So on this, I had no gain control. I don't 100% remember what the software gain control was set to, audio, but as you can see on the K678, I have the dial set to 100%, and then in software, in control panel, I have the gain set to about 50%, and that seems to make for a pretty nice flat kind of audio here where everything can later be on set with dynamics in Premiere Pro. Now, the main difference between these two microphones is this one is warmer. So when I was speaking, my voice was much warmer than it is on this one, but that came at the cost of background noise. When putting headphones on this microphone, you could hear the computer in the background, the fans in the background, and the thing is, they're not actually that loud, and my voice could be a little bit distorted at times. While on the K678, it seems that is all completely eliminated. The background noise, the fans, can pretty much never be heard unless they kick in from time to time, which they do. I'm not sure why they do that. So now let's do an actual audio comparison. This is the Razer Siren X, where I'm speaking close to the microphone, not like eating it close, but pretty damn close to the microphone. And this is the Razer Siren X when I'm speaking at normal kind of speaking volume where I would normally be sitting. Now, there are no effects on this whatsoever except for dynamics so that I can play around and keep the volume level at all times. Other than that, this is just the microphone itself. Now I'm going to stay silent so that we can do a little noise background test. And let's move on to the FIFINE K678. So, this is the FIFINE K678. I'm speaking into it again from about the same closeness as I was speaking into the Razer at first. And yet again, this is just the microphone on its own. No effects, no nothing except for dynamics. Now I'm going to move back to where I would normally be sitting. This is the FIFINE K678 from where I would normally be sitting at a voice level that I would normally be speaking. Now let's do a background noise test. Okay. And I really like the bass on this microphone. Now, depending on where you set that gain, you're actually gonna get quite a bit of that. So if I get up really close to the microphone, you can hear that it instantly has much more bass than it had a few seconds ago. The further away I move, the less of that bassy voice we get. So if you guys are doing podcasts, if you guys are doing voiceovers, getting up real close to that microphone will give you a really nice, crisp, warm sound that really sounds great. So let's conclude, because I mean, we've been using this thing for a whole week. A lot of people said it was much better. What do I think? For a person whose job it is to speak to a microphone for 10 minutes straight in a video, well, I need the best possible one I can have. And this one just does a better job. It's much clearer, it reduces background noise, and I like the amount of bass it gives my voice. It's not overpowering. And if you guys are interested in getting the K678, the links are down below. If you guys want to start a podcast, a voiceover, whatever you want to do, the links for the K678 are down below. So let me know what you guys think about the audio. Is it better now, or did you prefer the warm sound of the Razer Siren X? And don't just say the Razer because it's a Razer. And what do you guys think about the K678 from FIFINE? Now at the end, just a few announcements for the people watching because they're subscribed. As you can probably tell, my Quest 2 has been sitting on the table here throughout the entire video. That is because I am happy to say my Oculus Quest 2 is finally back from Oculus. That didn't take very long, to be completely honest with you. It did not take very long at all. All the issues with it are completely fixed. It came packaged a little bit differently. I'm gonna need to rewatch the unboxing to make sure that that's correct, but that would be kind of weird if they sent it back in a different packaging. As you can see, I already have my grips on my controllers again. I've been playing a little bit of Beat Saber today, so that is back. I'm happy to say we're ready to start doing more accessory videos and more unboxings on that tomorrow, because I have a lot of back ordered stuff that I need to make a review on for this thing because it wasn't here. So that is a happy announcement. Another thing is, with the amazing audio of this microphone, we have started a podcast. So if you guys haven't checked out the podcast yet and you want to check it out, that's down below. And I mean, if you guys are not yet somehow part of this community that is constantly growing, I love the community so much. I've got some pretty big announcements, just waiting on a few answers from a few people. And if they say yes, there's going to be some pretty big things happening for the good of the community. So if you guys want to be part of that, make sure to join the Discord down below. Make sure to join the Reddit down below, where I want to see you guys posting your spicy memes. And if you guys want to support the channel in any way, shape, or form, we've got merch down below. Today is the 30th. There is a huge discount on everything till the 1st of December, so make sure to check out that community post. And yeah, if you guys want to be notified about future content coming up on the channel daily, make sure to smack that subscribe button with your forehead, ding my bell, and see you again in the next video. Peace.